Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. As always, I am Co-Vice, and with me we have.
I'm crushing, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. We
Enjoying
got
your
some stuff.
weekend, man?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
We got some stuff to talk about. We got some unhappy players out there.
Yes, sir. A few of them, few good players. Um,
We got
yeah, we got. Here we
Trey
got.
Hendrickson down in Cincinnati. We got
Mm.
your boy Terry.
My boy, man, my brother.
And we're going to dive into the Micah Parsons situation, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about
All right. So let's get things started here in the AFC North with Trey Hendrickson. Obviously, a huge part of that Cincinnati Bengals defense. I think to compete in the AFC North, you need a good defense.
Yeah. Two biggest positions: QB, pass rusher.
Yes.
I mean, they gotta find a way to get that done.
I mean, you look at Pittsburgh and what they did with TJ. You look at the Browns, what we did with Miles. The Ravens don't really have that big name, but as a defense as a whole, I think they're fine there. So that just leaves the Bengals with their star pass rusher here.
Right. And I mean, it's some good news, I guess, if you want to call it good news, with him reporting to training camp.
Yeah, he's there.
Mhm.
He came out and said that he wants to be a part of this team and that he doesn't want to be a distraction.
Right.
I mean, with that being said,
yeah,
he still wants his money, which he does. Like, I mean, he's one of the best at his position.
Oh yeah, definitely top five. I think he was tops in the league in sacks the last couple years. So
he was, yeah.
They definitely have to find a way to, make him happy. But do you think they'll eventually get something done for him?
I think they will. I mean, the Browns did what they had to do to keep Miles. He said, he's like, I want to win a championship. And they're like, well, best we can do is $40 million a year. And he's like, all right, yeah, I'm fine with that. Then TJ was like, oh man, if he got 40 and now it's my turn, I want 41.
Right.
So that leaves Trey right there, who is on the same tier as those guys. And I can see him wanting that same 41 million a year. And I do think if you're the Bengals, you got to pay your guy.
Yeah, definitely have to find a way to get that done. I mean, they might be at least, be in communications with him not requesting a trade yet. Might be a good sign that maybe they're at least having some talks of trying to get something done.
Right. I mean, the Bengals made their offense a priority.
Right.
They locked up Jamar Chase. I think I'm not sure if Burrow got a new deal yet or not, but I know he will.
Oh yeah. I think he was first. They locked him up, I think. Then they locked Chase up, and then
they got Higgins.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have your firepower for years to come. I mean, and that's an offense built to win shootouts, but if you
defense is definitely where they fell short last year.
Yeah, and they got their rookies signed, which I think will actually be a good piece with Hendrickson there. So yeah, I think a deal will get done. I mean, it seems like we hear about this every year with guys like holding out and requesting a trade or whatnot. Like we have Terry and Micah coming up, but Trey's there. I think he's willing to get on the field at some point. But yeah, I do think they get a deal done there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, he did not request a trade. But let's talk about your boy Terry here, man.
Oh man. So I mean, with Terry, I mean, it seemed like this is just a step in the process of him being unhappy with the whole back and forth or lack thereof. I know right after mini camps, he said that there wasn't any communication, but for like a month and a half between mini camp and training camp. So, he had like a little media session at a commercial shoot, and afterwards he spoke to the media, and basically voiced that he was unhappy with everything, the non-communication, felt disrespected. So it looked like this is just another step in the process, I guess.
So now, if you're like the owner of the Commanders, you see a Justin Jefferson getting these huge deals. Jamar Chase got a huge deal. Now, like they're kind of setting the market, but do you think Terry is on the same tier as Jefferson and Chase to be asking for like the same amount of money?
No way.
No.
And I think that's where his agent, his name is Buddy. It's crazy, but and I think that's where maybe his agent is giving him some bad advice. Maybe his agent is probably making it seem like he is due for a big payday. I think that McLaurin is one of his highest paid players, on under him, that he has, and maybe he, is hoping for a big, payday from McLaurin, but I don't think that he stacks up with them. Even though McLaurin had a good season,
He did.
I don't think overall, he is in that tier of wide receivers. I know he finished like second in the league in touchdowns. He had 13, right behind Chase. So he had a good season. But still, even with Jaden as his QB, he only had, I think, 82 receptions, just under 1,100 yards. If he was really in that tier, he would have blown those numbers out. So, I think he's in a tier below. I think he may
Yeah.
be he's around that, I think, 28,
Okay.
maybe 29 million a year. But I think that the team is maybe thinking about 25. And I think that's where like the disrespect is coming in because he may be thinking 33, 34
Yeah.
in that Metcalf range, and the team is probably around 25, 26, and that's where he feels disrespected. So
Yeah. I definitely see him in the same tier as like DK Metcalf. And then if you look at like Justin Jefferson got 4 years, 140 million. Jamar Chase got 4 years, 161 million. So that's up in the 40s as well.
mhm.
And
And CD is up there too, and I don't think he is. I think CD is a little better than him, but
mhm,
I mean, Terry's a good receiver, good, contested catch receiver. If it's in the air and it's, contested, he'll come down with it. But, it's still a lot of plays where, on those long catches, he's getting shoestring tackled at the 5 yard line. He's not really completing those runs. It seemed like he tried to clean them up towards the end. He had a big one against the Lions in the playoffs.
yeah,
But, early on last season, he was getting tackled early. He got tackled shoestring against the Bears, against the Browns. So, I mean, he's not in that elite range where he's getting mid to high, $30 million a year, but I think he's in that second tier,
yeah,
with Metcalf and, players like that.
yeah. So I mean, and also if you're the owner there, you proved that you found your franchise quarterback.
Right.
So I
Right.
feel like you need to make the steps to kind of keep. I mean, one, Daniels helps McLaurin, but I also feel like that goes both ways.
Right. And I think McLaurin, he also wants to kind of get paid for what he's done. Like, when our franchise was just crazy and, we had ownership issues, he was kind of like that solid person that was kind of keeping the franchise afloat, because he was, a respected person, good character, things like that. But I mean, this is a whole new leadership team, Adam
Yeah,
Peters, Josh Harris, Dan Quinn, they don't really, it's like, what have you done for us lately?
right.
And they're not really paying him for what he did before. They're kind of paying him for what he's going to do in the next 3 years, and what
Yeah.
he's going to do is be over 30 years old. So, they're not gonna, usually, and they're a big analytics team too. So even though McLaurin was healthy last year, they're going by analytics, and that shows that after 30 years old, you have a decline. So they're not
Hmm.
gonna want to pay you that amount of money when you might have a decline.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it always seems like when you have star players that are kind of speaking out about not being happy or wanting to be traded, like you mentioned age, there are teams out there that don't care.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, they will happily, make that happen.
Hmm.
And they could miss. Like, he might
Hmm.
not be anything, but
Right,
but teams that are in like a win now stage that might just be a receiver away.
right. And with that being said, even though he asked for a trade, the team came out and said they're not going to trade him. He has
Hmm.
1 year left. I think he's getting paid maybe around 15 or 19, something like that. But his cap hit, I think, is 25. But I mean, the team said they're not going to trade him, but I think eventually they'll get something done. I think they're gonna have to meet somewhere in the middle. If the team wants 25 and he wants 33, 34, I think he'll probably get a deal around 29, 30 a year, maybe a 3-year deal. Um, for like 90 million, maybe 60 is guaranteed, maybe 2 years is guaranteed. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think it's the deal that he wants or the team wants, but I think they'll
right.
eventually get something done.
But I mean, it seems like a lot of times that upfront like guaranteed money is enough. I mean, because that's tough for an owner. Like, hey, we still need to see what you can do, but here is, you know, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
And it's like I understand how he feels that he's like, hey, I've proven it to you. He had 1,000 receiving yards, last 5 years, and but I don't know. I don't know. He's saying that even though he's turning 30, he doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires, didn't play a lot in college and in the
Yeah,
NFL. But like I said, they go by the numbers, the analytics, and so. But I think they'll get something done.
I think the Browns will get something done there. I saw his
Woo!
OSU teammate, our very own Denzel Ward,
Yeah,
put a tweet out there saying he would look good in the Browns colors, and I have to agree there.
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
sending the smoke signals out, man. He trying to work some magic. But I mean, Terry is still one of the leaders of the team.
yeah.
I don't it's a big, that'll be a big hit to the locker room if he wasn't there. Even though we have a lot of leaders now, but it it'll just be weird without him there. I think it'll be a big hit and especially what they're trying to do. Right now, we wasn't saying this a year ago, but right now they're contesting for Super Bowl. They're
Hmm.
expected to make the playoffs again and make a run.
Sure.
So, they won't be able to do that without McLaurin.
No.
So, I think they'll get something done just because the outlook, in the near future is high.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely a team to watch in the NFC this year.
Yeah.
I think that he is a big part of that and to that team's success.
Hmm.
But speaking of the NFC East, that brings us to our next topic here with Micah Parsons. I mean, he said his goodbyes already. He's
Oh
out the
yeah.
door.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he definitely his bags are packed sitting at the door. Um,
He's waiting on the
he
call.
yeah, they pissed off the wrong one.
But at the meantime, as ready as he is to get out that door, old Jerry Jones is saying, "Nah, this is nothing."
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy. Like, I mean, just going into his tweet. I mean, he
That's not a
basically
tweet. That's a goodbye letter right there.
exactly exactly. I mean, he basically really laid it out where he basically said, hey, he went through basically from A to Z as far as the entire
Yeah.
deal, and him, wanting to talk. about a deal and the team, saying they wanted to wait, and then vice versa, team wanting to speak. I guess, Jerry Jones had uh a side little thing where he wanted to talk to him about leadership, a meeting, and the meeting turned into deal talks, where contract talks,
Hmm.
where, and his agent wasn't present. So, basically after the meeting, he told Jerry, hey, after this meeting, I know we talked about a contract, but nothing is final. I still want you to talk to my agent. And then that's when all communication stopped after that. He didn't talk to his agent. Agent hit up Jerry Jones, no response.
Hmm.
So, now, and he showed up to training camp, which is different from, Terry and Trey. They both didn't show up initially, but Micah showed up, and, basically he said he had enough,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, over the last couple of days, it said you were seeing things that Micah Parsons and like the relationship with the team, especially Jerry Jones, was getting worse. And
Mhm.
you saw a couple articles like that. Then you get hit with the big one that he just wants out.
Right. Right.
And I feel like compared to the other two, this might be the one that a deal doesn't get done.
I agree. This has the bigger chance of, especially with, we'll get into it in a second, but especially with Jerry Jones' recent comments, after, Micah came out with his novel. Um
Yeah.
I think he really might be, poking the bear at this point.
And Jerry Jones is like that old school, like I'm in charge kind of guy.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
all these, I don't know, everything Mike is saying, Jerry's probably just taking with a grain of salt. He's like, no, like
Right.
you're still going to be a part of this team,
Right.
but it
Right.
definitely seems like he's not. He definitely doesn't want to be.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go through some things that he said. A few things he said. He said, and I quote: "I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it all on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally." When you say, there's a lot of I no longers in that.
That's what I was just gonna say.
I mean, he's standing on it. I mean, that doesn't sound like somebody that's just I know your guy, during a Super Bowl time, he came out and submitted his trade request, saying I think I'll play good on the Commanders and with Jaden, he made his,
Hmm.
but he didn't really, his didn't sound like this, like,
No,
like he was really upset.
he didn't. He didn't. He didn't tweet.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
didn't. He didn't like put public documentation out there saying
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
this is it for me. Goodbye. I'm out.
Right. And Micah is really saying he feels disrespected, a lot because um when the owner comes out and basically says, he doesn't really want to give his players a new contract because they might get injured or he thinks they're injury prone. Talking about him missing, I think 3 or 4 games last year, and Dak missing some games. You know, you don't want to hear that as a player, that your
No.
owner basically, is questioning giving you a contract because, of your injury.
Yeah. And the thing with like you mentioned Dak, like he still got paid,
Yeah,
and
right.
and
And
he's
too much.
yeah because he seems to have been getting like falling off a little bit.
Exactly. And it's because he waits so long pay pay his players, and that's when he has to pay them 60 million a year when they probably don't deserve it.
No. Uh-uh.
So it's the same thing is gonna happen with Micah possibly. If he stays, he'll, instead of making maybe 38 or something million, now he's gonna be getting close to 45 soon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely coming up. And then you think about like how many teams are already on the phone trying to get at him. You think of
Oh yeah.
how many like contenders could use somebody like that? How
Right.
many teams that are just outside of the playoffs that he could help get into the playoffs?
Mhm.
I mean, he's one of those guys. He's making a difference no matter where he is.
Right. And that's
Uh,
the thing too. Like Micah could be the first player because I know deals normally get done when it gets like this when a player requests a trade, but he could be the first one to say, "Hey, I don't want to talk about a contract anymore," and then play out his final year and then go into free agency.
yeah,
Unless they apply the tag, but he could really say, "Hey, he really doesn't want to play for him," or maybe even sit out the season.
yeah.
So who knows?
So I haven't always been a fan of people asking for contract extensions like before, like especially if you're 2 years out on your contract yet.
Right.
Like anything can happen in 2 years, but also an injury could happen within 2 years. So
Right.
I mean, I get where these players are coming from, but like at the same time, like I think there needs to be loyalty from both sides.
Yeah.
You don't need your owner disrespecting their star players, but you also need the star players to be like, "Hey, I signed a 4-year deal.
Hmm.
I'm going to try to make. We're going to make it to year 4 together, and then go from
Hmm.
there." But
Hmm.
I get it. That's not how it works, and I mean
Hmm.
that's just the way it goes down.
Yeah. Especially going into that final year, players definitely kind of want some guarantee just in case, they have a season-ending injury
Hmm.
or, something happens. They want to kind of know that they have some security just in case something happens. But, that's why they're not participating in training camp right now is, I know Micah, now I don't think he's participating in training camp. He's just on the sidelines now, but, they don't want to risk an injury during training camp and a preseason, the season, and then they don't have any security,
Yeah,
after that. So
I mean we're already a couple
Mm.
season ending injuries into this thing.
Right,
Multiple teams
right.
have players that have ACLs or other things they're dealing with.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the football field. Anything can happen out there
Anything.
at any time. So
Yep. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So do you think that they eventually get something done with Micah?
I think they should, but
Yeah, if
I
they
don't
were
know.
smart.
Yeah, he definitely seems the least likely to come back.
Hmm.
Jerry Jones seems the least likely to really care what he says.
Yeah,
So I don't know. We'll see what plays out as camp goes on.
yeah. And basically, you know, and going into Jerry Jones, I mean, he's not really helping the situation with his comments today when he said that the fans shouldn't lose sleep over what Micah is saying. That's basically saying you don't even care about this trade request or you don't take it serious.
Yeah,
If you're telling the fans don't lose sleep over what you're hearing about it.
it's like Jerry's never heard of a holdout. Like
Exactly.
it's like, well, we're just not gonna like give him his extension, and he's just gonna go out there week after week and bust his ass for us.
Right. Right.
Micah seems like he doesn't care. He'll sit out every game
Oh
until
yeah.
something happens.
Right. Yeah, he definitely will.
But he's gonna have GMs calling him nonstop.
Yep. Lined up at the door. I mean, I don't think they'll trade him. I don't I don't think they'll trade him. You know, unless maybe if he sits out for the entire season,
Yeah,
then maybe. But again, Micah is so competitive. I don't know if he'll go that route, but
yeah.
we'll see.
I don't know. I'm always a fan of big trades coming out of nowhere. Like
Yeah,
I like seeing things happen.
right.
I we who know we might be a couple weeks away from Micah Parsons traded to the Eagles, and then the whole league can just be upset
Hmm.
about that. But
Yeah.
uh, we got some stuff to keep our eyes on.
Oh yeah. I mean, if we hear something with any of these guys, we'll definitely follow up on it.
Anything else you would like to add in today's episode?
Hey Terry, man, that's what I want to add in here, man. Just get it done. pay our guy. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but we just need to get it done. We don't need, even though the coach said it's not a distraction, I feel like in some ways it is. Other players still have to answer questions about it. We don't want to keep going into this, going into a season where we, have a lot of expectations. So I just
Yeah.
say we get a deal done this week, lock him up for the next 3 years or so, and then go from there. But pay Terry.
Message to owners: pay your star
He deserves
players.
it. Yeah, he deserves it. Pay Terry.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up for us. Thank you
Yeah,
guys
man.
for hanging out.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And we will see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.